So, talking about what is a hypervisor today. Hypervisors, also known as the virtual machine monitor, are responsible for creating, running, managing, pretty much handling virtual machines. So that raises the question: well, what is a virtual machine, or kind of more in general, what is virtualization? And in this context, virtualization is the idea of creating the appearance of or providing an interface to, in this case, hardware or a machine that doesn't necessarily correspond with a real physical one. In either a kind or type, and I say kind or type. So, like, let me give some examples. So, a familiar concept should be virtual memory. It's the idea where you don't have enough actual RAM, particularly on older computers. So they have the idea of like a swap space to disk. So virtual memory is the idea of leveraging your hard disk space to give the appearance of additional RAM memory. So that's one kind of example of a virtual memory. Often, and particularly in modern day operating systems, virtual memory is less used with a file system backing, but more with just providing every application its own separate memory space by giving it a virtual memory, which it's different. In this case, I'll say a little bit different in type because you might have an address range that doesn't really map to the address range that if you were watching the bus to the RAM itself, that you would see those transactions go over. So that's that's another way that virtual memory is used. So each application then can get its own can get the same range of memories, and then behind the scenes software, usually coupled with some special hardware, does that translation to the real physical media with different bus. So virtualization, the creation of the appearance or the creation of interfaces to some software that isn't necessarily backed up or isn't necessarily corresponds directly to real hardware.